Hi, it's Dave Smith here. So here we are again. This is more on the doing of wet plate series. We shot a first few plates and there's a number of issues of technique that I think still need to be resolved, but I think we're getting there, little by little. Okay. So in this video we're going to look at preparing the plates. So I have some glass here. This is 2mm framers glass, and this is an A2 sheet, which is the size I buy it in. I'm going to cut that down to 5x4s. I use this thing here as a straight edge to cut the 5-inch strips out of that, and then I do that against my cutting mat, because that's got a inch by inch grid across it, so I can use that to measure with, and that works perfectly fine. I've got an oil-filled glass cutter, so we're going to get into that. I'm going to bring the camera right in so you can see what's happening. Once we've cut the 5x4 plates out, we're going to kind of just clean up the edges so I don't get cut to pieces, and then we're going to clean the glass front and back, and then we're going to sub it with albumen, and I'll show you all of those stages in various sections in this video. When I've got a new set of plates, we're going to retry that Ostermann's collodion, but maybe I'll leave that for a short next video, because this video is going to be fairly long, I think. I'm not going to show you all of the process. That would take us hours, but nevertheless there's quite a bit to do in prepping the plates. So I think this will be a reasonably long video, as I show you every stage right the way through to the fully subbed plates. So I hope this is going to be of some interest. Let's get into it, shall we? Okay, so here we are. I think I'm going to cast a little bit of a shadow, so I hope that's not too distracting. But I've laid up my glass plate. Excuse me. I've laid up my glass plate on the cutting mat. I've lined the right-hand edge up with the very edge, and I'm going to cut. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 inches is at the 18 line, and I'm going to cut 5-inch strips. Now this is excuse me. Let's make sure that we are maximising our plates out of this. I'm cutting 5x4s. Now this is, so that is 23 inches and a little bit. So I would get four strips out of that, and then it is what is it, 17 inches in that direction, so I would get 4. So I'm getting 4x4, I'm getting 16 5x4 plates if I cut 5 inches across that way. If I cut 5 inches this way, I get, what do I get? I get 3 in that direction, and then 4 inches would give me 5 in that direction, so that would be 15. So cutting the 5-inch strips on the short length, along the long length, is the best way. It gives me one more plate. Okay, so my straight edge is here on the 18-inch line, we'll recall, not in that direction. There we go. Now I have to have a little bit of play for this. Just going to check. Let's move that over a little, I think. Let's try that. It's a bit tricky to see. That seems right to me. Okay, so I'm going to put quite a reasonable pressure all the way along. Now I should have a nice scored line there. We shall see in a moment. So what I'm going to do now is turn that over. Onto this tea towel. I think you might be able to see the scored line right there, and put that in the other direction. And this will just give me a little bit of give, along which I should be able to cause that to snap like so. Okay, there's our first piece. So I'm going to carry on and do the remainder of those, then we'll come back and I'll show you the 4-inch pieces out of those strips. Okay, so here we are back again. I've cut my 4 strips of 5-inch pieces right there, and what I'm now going to do is cut those down to 4-inch pieces, 4 inches along that length, so I've got my 5x4 plates. I use a smaller piece of board as a straight edge for this operation. Same deal with the mat, so let's have a look at that. Just line that up with the edge of the mat, and then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, it's going to be the 19-inch line, and I'm going to get the best straight edge is that one. Just knock that, of course, because life's like that sometimes. There we go. Just give myself a little wiggle room for the cutter. There we go. Okay, that should give me a 4-inch piece. Let's see how that goes. Turn it upside down and just cuts along that line. There we have a nice 5x4 glass plate. Going to leave that over there and stack those up. When I did this the first time round, that was the first time I'd kind of cut glass, my word, I had a nightmare. Then I found that sort of little pressure on each edge of the score, upside down, works a treat every time. So that's how I do it now. Okay, so I'm going to get on and cut the rest of these 20 5x4, I've got 19 to go. The next time we come back to this, we'll be filing the edges, making the edges safe, and we will probably also sub the plate. Okay, see you when we're back. Okay, so here we are back again. You find me most of the way through prepping the plates. So here are all the plates that I cut up earlier. There's a few more left to go. Here are the offcuts. So these are the very thin slices that are left at the end of those 5x4 strips, and that's the strip. When I've cut the 5x4s, that strip is left, and that is about 3.5 inches. So a little bit irritating. If that was just half an inch more, we'd get another set of plates out of that, but there you go. So those are the offcuts. So what I've been doing all I want to do at this stage is to take these sharp edges off. I'm using a file. I also have a whetstone that you can do this with. But the file does it just as well. And I'm just going down each corner, and that will throw up a little burr, which will help to keep the collodion from peeling. But the biggest gain there is going to be the albumen subbing. Now, next time, in the next video, what we're going to do is clean these plates and sub them, ready for use. And then in the video after that, we will retry that Osterman's collodion. Okay, so I have a couple more of these left to do. I don't imagine that you want to sit there listening to me filing glass, so I'm going to carry this on, even presuming you've heard a word of that. But I'm going to carry this on, just a couple more plates, and I'll fade this out as I'm going, and I will see you in the next video when we're cleaning and subbing plates ready to use. So I hope that's been of some interest. Thanks very much for watching, and bye for now.